Alright, YouTube, this is going to be the 32 odds video where I'm going to share you the matches that I've analyzed using SofaScore prediction app. This morning I told you that I will be providing you this video later in the day. Alright, bullshit, what is that? These phones are crazy. I wonder we introduce AI in every bit of the phone. So YouTube, we back, yeah? I'm talking about 32 odds that are going to be playing this Saturday, this weekend. Now, I want us to go through the step-by-step process that I talked about in my betting strategy video, where I explained to you how to use SofaScore to understand how to predict, how to analyze a football match. Remember, it has a 6-step process. Step 1, the last 5 results of the home team. Step 2, the last 5 results of the away team. Step 3, the head-to-head results. Step 4, what are the streaks present? Step 5, which kind of competition is this? And step 6, what is the win probability? At the end of the day, after going through all the 6 processes, what is important is that you're coming up with inputs at each level. The inputs that you collect at each level are what you're going to be using in the final inputs table, whereby you will be able to start thinking, all right, both teams to score is possible, over 2.5 goals is possible, away team to win is possible, and finally, you come up with your prediction. So the game we have today is Tottenham Hotspur playing Wolves, or if you like, Tote, Spurs versus Wolves. Now let us get rolling because time is not on our side and it is a weekend. I have told you that you will be getting 32 odds. But before that, I must mention the following explicitly and clearly as possible. We are using an app known as SofaScore, Live Score app, or if you love, SofaScore Prediction app. So at this very point, I am going to be dropping a link in the pinned comment section. Go in the comment section, get into the comment section, and get yourself the SofaScore app, right? I want you, at this very point, to download the app because you won't be in a position to understand whatever I am talking about, whatever I am saying, if you lack the app. So step number 1, of course, step 0, because step number 1 is available in the process. So this is step 0. Step 0, get yourself the SofaScore app using the link in the pinned comment section. Really important because what I'm talking about is knowledge that you won't find anywhere, right? This is exclusive, premium, wonderful, easy to understand, easy to execute knowledge, right? So let us get rolling. In step number 1, as I've said, it involves you asking yourself the question, what are the last 5 results of the home team? And remember, the game in question today is Tottenham Hotspur versus Wolves, all right? And if you go through that, I have sampled this out for you. This was the last game, game 2, game 3, game 4, game 5. I have generally gone for the last 5 results of Tottenham Hotspurs, all right? I do not care whether it's from EFL Cup, Premier League, Champions League, Premier League. I just want to know their last 5 results. And that is what I've used to come up with this data. You realize Tottenham Hotspur's 3 wins in the last 5. All are clean sheets. All their 3 wins are clean sheets. They have scored in 4 over 5 and had over 2.5 goals in 3 over 5. The other 2 to draw, and they lost 1 against Bournemouth. All right? These are the things that you're going to be using in step number 1. If you go through the standings of the Premier League, you ask yourself, must Bettor, which position is Bournemouth currently sitting? It's sitting at the 4th position in the Premier League, all right? So step number 2, we get into these. What are the last 5 results of their away team? The away team results are as follows, right? We have Wolves coming up with a 2-0 win. That is from the EFL Cup. In the England Premier League, they have suffered terribly. They have 0 wins so far. And of course, they have lost all their 5 games. And out of the 5 matches that they have played so far in the Premier League, we have Wolves only scoring 3 goals in the last 5 matches, which is completely pathetic. So these are the inputs for Wolves, all right? Both teams to score in 3 over 5. 1, 2, this is the first one, this is the next one, this is the other one, all right? And then they have 2 wins out of 5, and both wins came from the EFL Cup. As you can witness that, in the Premier League, they are still struggling to find their feet, all right? They are still struggling to stand, all right? They have fallen down at the moment. So let's see, today maybe they're going to be standing, all right? So that is what we've collected so far. And then in step number 3, what are the head-to-head results like? Lucky for us today, we have the head-to-head results. The other time I did this video, it was a game from Greek Cup Kali Lethlia versus, I don't know which team was that, right? It was a very funny team. There was no head-to-head results. But today we have the head-to-head results, and it's important. Now, when it comes to the head-to-head results section, what I really care about, or what I put emphasis on, is when were these last head-to-head matches played. If they were in 2025 or the current year, when you're using SofaScore to get your prediction, then of course, I will take them seriously. If we're in the last 3 years, I take them seriously. But if a game was played in 2017, 2016, 2018, I count them as bullshit. That is the reality. Because so many changes occur in football each and every new season when you have a new coach coming on board, management shifting, players getting transfers, and all those bullocks and all those things that occur. So these are the head-to-head results that we have in the SofaScore app, all right? Wolves won the last head-to-head results 4-2. That was in 2025, last season. In the previous leg, that was also last season, they had a 2-2 draw. 2-1 in favor of Wolves. 2-1 in favor of Wolves. Tottenham Hotspurs has never won in the last 5 head-to-head results. So Wolves has dominated in the last 5 head-to-head results. We have them winning 4 over 5 times, and one of the matches ended as a draw. And that is what you're going to input in your input section. Wolves 4 wins, draw 1. Last 2 at Tottenham, they had a 2-2 draw, and they had a 1-2 win. These are the ones I'm talking about. This pen is so thick. Let me see if I can get a... They had a 2-2 draw and a 1-2 win the last time they played at Tottenham Hotspurs. So really, from the head-to-head results, the following stand out. No, color blue. This color is really messing me up. So we have both teams to score occurring in 4 over 5, over 2.5 goals occurring in 4 over 5. And that is what we take into account in step number 3. In step number 4, we are asking ourselves, what are the streaks present? And when you answer that question, you will be in a position to start having an easier understanding of what exactly is the betting tip you will be picking in this game. And lucky for you, SofaScore is the only app that has done that for you. Remember, my betting strategies are meant for beginners, right? They're meant for those who are serious when it comes to making money betting on football, right? They're meant for those who are also pros, intermediaries. I don't care whether you've been betting for the last 7 years, 10 years, 20 years. I do not care, right? So, let us proceed. The streaks. This is what we have in the streaks section. Today we have the streaks. That is the individual streaks by these teams in their last 5 matches or in their last 10 matches. That is what SofaScore always opts for, all right? And then we have the head-to-head streaks today. Head-to-head streaks is also present today. So we're going to begin with the streaks section. As you can witness, Tottenham Hotspurs, they have no losses in their last 4 matches, all right? Tottenham Hotspurs were also first to score in their last 6 out of 8 matches. And Wolves, the team that is struggling with zero wins so far, they lost in first half in 5 of their last 7 matches. I don't care about cards. I don't care about corners. This is always most of the time wrong. Right? But again, at times it actually occurs. I don't just love putting my emphasis on that. So, the head-to-head streaks, this is what we have present. No losses for Wolves in the last 5. We've all witnessed that. No clean sheet for Tottenham Hotspurs in the last 5. They have conceded a goal from Tottenham Hotspurs, yeah? And again, over 2.5 goals, 4-5. Both teams to score 4 over 5. Wolves were the first to score in 4 of the last 5 matches. Really, at this point, sorry for that. First team to score, we had Tottenham Hotspurs in their individual matches scoring first in 6 out of their last 8 matches. And then when you talk about head-to-head records, we had Wolves scoring first in 4 of their last 5 matches. It is an interesting match for me. The inputs, Tottenham no losses in 4 over 5. Because I believe if you want to write all of them down, you can continue writing them down. But really, it's not important. I believe you have them in mind, and when it comes to the plays whereby we will require them for the last step, you will be in a position to pull them from the back of your brain and put them into the data that is going to be needed to analyze the matches. All right? So step number 5. Which kind of football match is this? Or what kind of match is this? It is a Premier League game, all right? And of course, inputs. Wolves are winless so far. They're under pressure. They're desperate. And this is where you can also include things like lineups if you have information about the lineups, all right? About players who are going to be missing, players who are going to be present, all right? That is what you should be including in this very section. But because I assume you don't know that, right, I will ignore that, all right? So Tottenham Hotspurs, their next match is a Champions League game, all right? That is important. That is important. You need to take that into account because some teams always tend to play Team B when they have an important game coming up next, all right? So that is the input from step number 5. What I can say, or what I have deduced from this point, what I have understood from step number 5 is that Tottenham Hotspurs, they are still going to come up with a stronger first 11. And even if they are to change it, Wolves potentially are not going to be able to withstand the pressure because I've seen their performance so far in the Premier League. It is not the one that entices me into believing they're going to pose so much of a challenge to Tottenham Hotspurs. All right? We are using data that is available. And the data that is available is from SofaScore and the last 5 matches played by both teams. In step number 6, this is what we're going to be having. What is the win probability by both teams? When you go to SofaScore app, there is always this option available. Odds. That is after going to the head-to-head section or the matches section where you're going to be able to view how they performed individually. You will scroll down, 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 down until you get to this point where it's written odds. All right? When the odds are 1.57, the expected chance of winning is 64%. That is by Tottenham Hotspurs, all right? They actually get to win 61% of the times, all right? So inputs, Spurs win with these odds 61% of the time. And again, when you talk about Wolves, they win with these odds actually 44% of the time, all right? But this is what is important in SofaScore. If you're able to understand how to read these metrics clearly, this one, you will be in a position to go ahead and make so much money, all right? This is what I talk about so much inside the Must Beta Inner Circle. If you did not join, I'm really sorry for you. You'll have to wait until the next opening. So we've gone through the six steps processes, all right? Step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, step number 4, step number 5, and step number 6. We already have the inputs. And now it comes to a point whereby we have to get the final inputs in this game. All right? So all these are going to be converging. We'll be converging them. All right? It converges into the final inputs tab. All of them are converging into the final inputs tab. And when I show you the final inputs tab, this is what we have available. Home win is possible in this game. All right? The reason I say home win is possible in this game is so far at the moment, Tottenham Hotspurs, if you look at their last 5 results, it is actually gonna be crazy if I think otherwise. I will be mad if I think that Tottenham Hotspurs won't be winning this game, all right? Tottenham Hotspurs are also in a position to score in first half in this game, all right? That is based on the head-to-head streaks and so far the data we have collected from all the 6 processes, all right? And then over 2.5 goals is possible, and at the same time, I want to mention that both teams to score is possible. Both teams to score is possible. I know Wolves are terrible at the moment, but again, they are going to try to bring up their best game today. And just the fact that they have been able to completely dominate in the last 5 head-to-head results, it is an indication that today at least we should expect them scoring at least a goal. All right? So both teams to score is possible. I think that should have been written down. That is why in my potential score lines, I have 3-0 or 2-1 as my most favorable scores. That is how you predict a football game using SofaScore. All right? Based on data that is available. There is no fluff, there is no yapping, there is no wastage of time. Every single thing I've shown you is actually proven and is there. Now, what is going to determine at this point whether you're going to be winning your bet is your understanding of football game, all right? How equipped are you when it comes to what is currently happening in the Premier League, which kind of information do you have, all those things, all those nitty gritties. But with this one, you should be in a position to at least get 70% of the winnings most of the times. And now I'm going to show you personally, as must bet at this point, there are two options that are ringing in my mind, all right? Prediction. Bet number one, all right? At this point, if I'm to bet on this game, the very first selection I would have opted for is Tottenham Hotspurs to win the game. Tottenham Hotspurs to win the game. Let me bring it in a table format so that we can have it written down. Tottenham Hotspurs win the game. Tottenham win the game. And of course, the second one, over 2.5 goals. Over 2.5 goals. And because as must better, when I have a straight winning option and over 2.5 goals, I always opt for over 2.5 goals. I love over 2.5 goals. And to me, let me go back into this, the head-to-head streak section. My conviction that over 2.5 goals is gonna easily occur is way much appealing, compelling. It's more compelling. I believe so much in the over 2.5 goals option compared to the Tottenham winning, Tottenham to win the game option. At the end of the day, at that point, what really matters is what market do you love? Do you love the double chance market? Do you love the over market? Do you love the both teams to score market? Because all those markets are possible. But with this one, you should be in a position to get at least winnings, all right? So every single time you see me talking about SofaScore this, SofaScore that, SofaScore prediction, this is the 6-step process I actually refer to each and every single time. Count yourself lucky. If you have not understood this very video, there is another video provided. I am leaving the link in the pinned comment section. At this very point, I want you to rush to the video after watching this, all right? After getting your 32 odds for the weekend. Rush to that very video. You will be in a position to clearly understand how to use SofaScore app, all right? Remember, this video is for a beginner. At the same time, it is for an intermediary. All right? And finally, it is even for pros. All right? When you're able to include these in your day-to-day betting, you will be able to make so much money. And with that being said, let us now get into our betting slip where I show you the 32 odds analyzed using the SofaScore app and the processes that I've showed you. The very first game is Brentford playing Manchester United over 1.5 goals from Premier League. All right? Chelsea versus Brighton. Chelsea winning the game is beautiful. I expect Chelsea to win by a scoreline of 2-1 or 3-1. However, you already know me. I always opt for over compared to the way a direct win market, all right? So over 2.5 goals is my selection. Crystal Palace playing Liverpool. It hurts me so bad that I'm not going to be backing Liverpool to be winning these games, having a direct win in this game. So I'm going to be opting for over 1.5 goals because a portion of me wants to believe that a 1-1 scoreline is possible. At the same time, a portion of me knows very well that Liverpool are unstoppable and they should be winning this game. So the safer market for me is over 1.5 goals, right? At the same time, both teams to score. If you are the kind of person who loves such a market, why not give it a try? And then you have Leeds United playing Bournemouth. In this very game, I'm opting for a draw, either 1-1 draw or a 2-2 draw, and my prediction is over 1.5 goals. Then you have Manchester City playing Burnley coming up next, an interesting game where I expect Manchester City to dominate the game, to annihilate Burnley, and to win the game massively, right? I know they have Champions League coming up next, but at the same time, they have the firepower, right? They're going to deliver exactly what we are all looking for. So City win with a scoreline of 3-0 or 2-1 is very, very, very much likely in this game. So that is why I am opting for over 2.5 goals, all right? And then, of course, the next game is Nottingham Forest coming up against Sunderland, all right? In this game, it's a double chance. Either Nottingham Forest win the game or Sunderland win the game. I wasn't really able to come to a point whereby I I wasn't really able to come to a point whereby I had my correct score for the game nailed down, right? So it's a game that I'm just raw dogging. No correct score I do not have any correct score in mind, but I believe that either away team or home team should be in a position to win this game, all right? And then the next match you have is Tottenham Hotspurs playing Wolverhampton, whereby I am betting on over 2.5 goals, all right? And then you have Como playing Cremonense. Como playing Cremonense. My prediction is over 1.5 goals. You ask me the score lines, either 2-1 or 2-2. Juventus playing Atalanta, over 1.5 goals. At the same time, over 2.5 goals is tempting. I'm not going to lie. The reason over 2.5 goals is tempting is because when you go through the standings of this game, and as I was writing down my notes for this match, I realized that over 2.5 goals as an odd of 2.035, at the same time, it presents us an opportunity of a 2-2 scoreline, all right? But at the same time, 2-2 scoreline or 2-1 scoreline are the most probable outcomes in this game. So if you have the balls, if you have the tenacity, then of course, consider that very market, all right? And the next game that we have today is Cagliari Calcio playing Inter Milan. Interesting match, interesting fixture. Over 2.5 goals is really, really possible. But the problem is, my correct score forces me to believe that Cagliari versus Inter Milano will either be ending with a scoreline of Inter Milan winning the game by a scoreline of 2-0 or 2-1. Right? That is why I have ran away from the option of over 2.5 goals. All right? But if you have Inter Milan to win the game, then I want to assure you that it is a good way. It's a good match. It is a good analysis, and you should proceed to have that kind of probability. Right? And the last game, the last two matches, you have Atletico Madrid playing Real Madrid. Another interesting fixture, another interesting match. Over 1.5 goals. Can't recall where I wrote the correct score, so we're going to leave it, right? And the last game is Mainz versus Borussia Dortmund from Germany, Bundesliga. Our prediction is over two goals. Once again, I'm not in a position to see my scoreline, but I believe that it's a game whereby Mainz versus Dortmund, we should be getting at least 3 goals, 4 goals. So over 2 goals. Remember, it is not over 2.5. We are betting on over 2 goals, not over 2.5. So this very point, these are the 12 matches for this Saturday that have the probabilities of getting you winners. I want to remind you at this point, please and please and please and please, for the sake of humanity and for the sake of everyone, for the sake of your money and for the sake of your stake, please, if you have doubt in regards to any selection that I've included in this game or in this bet slip, leave it out. All right? At the same time, feel free to edit any of the selections because they're just probabilities and they're probabilities based on the SofaScore prediction app. However, on the bad part that is interesting, we don't believe they're going to be losing. I don't believe they're going to be losing. I believe they're going to be winning, right? So finally, I'm going to share you my top 6 football predictions for the weekend, right? Top 6 football predictions for the weekend. And this is what we have. Wolfsburg, come on. Give me a second, YouTube. I have to load them up. As I load them up, if you're loving the video, like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and ensure that you are leaving a positive review. All right? Positive comments. Positive vibes only, all right? 8CR67. I'm gonna go for, I think in regards to my stake here, 70,000 baht. Beautiful, beautiful YouTube. So there's it. Top 6 football matches for the weekend, all right? Come on. AI. Tottenham Hotspurs versus Wolves over 2.5 goals. Juventus versus Atalanta over 1.5 goals. Cagliari Calcio versus Inter Milano win. Atletico Madrid versus Real Madrid over 1.5 goals. And Mainz versus Dortmund over 2 goals. I really hope that these matches are going to transform you into a winning beta this weekend. These matches are going to allow you win massively this very weekend. With that being said, YouTube, ensure that you get yourself the SofaScore app. Ensure that you get yourself the app using the link in the pinned comment section, and share the links to your friends on WhatsApp, right? On Telegram, on Instagram. Let them come join us, because I believe this is where it should be. And so far, I'm going to mention the following. If you are not a member of the Must Better Inner Circle, believe me, you're missing out on a lot. Or you're missing a lot. You're missing extensively. The amount of information, the amount of value you're missing cannot be equated, cannot be explained, all right? So, I'm sorry for you. Just ensure you join us inside Telegram. There's a link on my bio. Really, bio. All right, there's a link in the pinned comment section. And I wish you the very best for the weekend. Done my part. Now what remains is the players to do their parts. Until next time, remember, I'm rooting for you. I hope that you get to win this Saturday. And tomorrow Sunday, when we get to meet, it's going to be all pleasantries and celebration and jubilation, ululation, everything ending with elation, all right? Take care. Until next time, I love you, YouTube.